guys, what's going on? Hi, Cam.
Hello. Hi.
Hi.
We're here again.
We're here again. It's Wisdom by Design, episode 7.
7 episodes. We're 6 episodes in.
Siete.
Who knew we could do it? Who knew we could pull it off?
Who knew we could pull it off? Episode 7. That's a pretty big deal. What's going on with you? What you up to?
I am making a sourdough starter.
Are you
Have you
really?
seen it? Yeah,
No.
Have you not seen it? I've been posting videos
haven't.
about it. So basically, we're
I'm a bad
planning on making
co-host. I have not seen your Instagram. I'm so sorry.
So we're basically planning on making our own sourdough bread because we love it. And we're like, well, why are we spending money on the bad stuff like they put in stores? Stuff's not real. It is sourdough, but it's not like the good stuff. So all sourdough starter is made up of is flour, water, and you just need a jar. So
Really?
Yeah. So you started off by you have like this rye flour, and you pour in like rye flour, a little bit of warm water, and you stir it up, and then you let it sit there, and it starts fermenting basically.
Yeah.
And it becomes alive. So we're on day 4. And basically you'll feed it like we fed it this morning, and it'll crawl up the jar, and then it'll come back down the jar. Like, it's so freaking sick. It's so dope. So,
that's cool.
We're on day 4. We did this once before, but we didn't make it to day 4. So we use bleached flour, and apparently that's the death of it. It'll get to a certain point, and then the fermenting will stop. So like day 3, I think it died last time, and it just stopped doing anything. So we're on day 4. I think we got it. So within a week, we should probably have our first loaf.
Yeah.
And then, so basically the way that you do it is you take a jar, you do all those things in it. Then the next day you dump out like probably 75% of it. You dump into the sink, and then you feed it again with new flour, new water. You mix it up, and then grows up, grows down, dump out 75%, do it again. So you do that for 7 days straight. And then the last day you dump out like 90% of it. That dumped out part that you take out, you make bread with. So on that 7th day, you should be able to make bread with the dump out part. So basically every week you have to feed it, and you dump it out, and the dump out part you make bread with. So sick.
That's incredible. That is a process. I am very excited to see that.
I'm really into processes that take some time, like trying to get back to the roots a little bit. So
yeah, I've actually been, that's crazy that you say that, trying to get back to the roots of it, because I have been tending to my plants.
Oh, plant babies.
I am my little plant babies. I always tell people that I can tell when I'm not doing well because my plants won't be doing well. Like when I'm not putting attention into myself, I'm not putting attention into my plants, and my plants will show it.
Is an interesting metaphor.
Yeah, it literally, but seriously, it happens. Like, I know that when my mental health is getting really bad, because my plants will start withering and like turning yellow, and like I haven't like tended to them in a really long time. And it's because I've like fallen out of my my routine. So I love, like, planting is one of the things that like I can just put my hands in the soil and just forget about everything and just love on them.
You're like lost
I love
in
my plants. I get lost in it. Yeah, I will have a heart attack if I come home and one of my plants are like this. So
start sweating.
Yeah, I do start sweating. I'm like, darn it. I do have a very dramatic plant. Anyone who is a plant person knows that peace lilies. I have a peace lily that's like, I mean, she's huge. She's just she's as tall as my toddler. Okay. And she, like, anytime if I don't water her over a couple of, yes, all my plants are girls, I'm sorry. Anytime I don't water her, she will just like shrivel up and like get really sad looking. And I'm like, oh no. And I'll put water on her. And then she turns into this dramatic, like, I'm back. I fight with that plant on a regular basis.
That's so funny. That's so funny. You should, what is that time that's when people do like the slow motion videos, but they're like just a picture every day. That would be so dope. I love those.
To see that,
where it's like
I never
you're
thought
taking
about
a picture at 1 p.m. every day, and it just, you see
it moves. It just goes.
People love that. People love
I'm
that
gonna
shit.
try that now. I've
People
never
love
thought
it.
about that.
It's so cool.
You're saying
you should see all the YouTube
videos
videos that are just that. I saw one of like, this is kind of gross, but of they would do decaying meat.
Ew.
And they would just take a picture at the same
you.
time every day.
Yeah,
like,
that's kind of
gross.
like that. My Oversized Life, wasn't that McDonald's? Was it the McDonald's thing? What was the guy? Do you remember? Okay, when we were in school, they were trying to scare us away from eating fast food. Supersize me. Okay, Supersize me.
He lied.
He literally had like all the burgers in jars and stuff, and you were like watching the mold grow or not grow. Like McDonald's wouldn't grow mold, but a real burger would. That's like,
hey man, if you eat what you want. That's why we live.
Eat whatever the hell you want, guys. Seriously. I don't care. Okay, Emma and I have a tradition. And for those of you that don't know, Emma and I are photographers that work together often. We have a boudoir business. She's a wedding photographer, so we always will book together, and like she'll take me all over the world. It's amazing. And it's tradition. Every time we leave, after a wedding, like we'll be working like 8-10 hours a day, and we will go home and we will drive on our way home, and we will pull into McDonald's at 3 a.m.
So
and I will order the same thing every single time. Dang. 2 cheeseburgers, add shredded lettuce and mac sauce, medium French fry, and a sweet tea.
Every time.
Every single time we have a wedding. So you better believe every time we have a wedding, I am eating really good.
No. You can't, I can't even get mad. Like McDonald's is one of those things where it's like, again, they've done the work, and that's why we keep eating there, because we remember being a kid and they're like, hey, little kid, come over here. You want a toy? I'll give you a toy. You mean I get food and a toy? I'm here for life.
What? Who was it? Was it the Baja Men? Do you remember the Baja Men?
I do remember the Baja.
Okay.
Who let the dogs out?
I remember getting a Mighty Kids CD in my Happy Meal with the Baja Men.
They've done work.
I was very happy. Okay, those were the best days of my life.
Man, they were so simple. Those days were so simple.
Those were the times. Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
So anyway.
All right. Yeah, let's do this.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. We're technically recording this like right before Christmas, but you probably won't hear this until when?
I don't know. We probably need to do the date. Yeah, we probably need to figure out the dates.
Yeah, we'll know the dates when these actually get like scheduled. That'll be our thing. We promise we'll get better at this.
Yeah. And this the way we're doing it right now works the best for us as we are. And maybe we'll have to change it. We don't know. We're just doing it for you guys. That's pretty much all it is right now.
Absolutely. So we are so excited. Our Instagram has been growing. Our YouTube has been growing. We've had amazing business owners reach out to us. And we're super excited. So we're gonna kick it off today with our newest topic, episode 7. We are talking about is it the DISC assessment?
It's like a DISC assessment. Yeah.
DISC assessment. And how did we get to this? How did we arrive here?
I'm working with a client right now. He has a consulting business called GroundUp Consulting, where he is using this to help you gain behavioral insights into kind of how you live your lives, to help you make better decisions in your life. So basically, he wants to make sure that you know what type of person you are, so you're making better decisions for your life. Because a lot of us out here are making decisions based on other people's input, based on the world's input, but we really need to be making decisions. Yeah, we need to be making decisions based on how we are. If we say I choose a job and it better fits who I am, maybe I have longevity in that job for longer than the 2-3 years before I get annoyed.
Right. So, yeah, no, exactly. I can't tell you how many jobs I've had that I'm like, okay, I can't do this every day. This is one thing that I cannot do every single day. And both of us took this assessment. Yes. We both took the assessment, and it was honestly very eye-opening, because I feel like I have some clarity now on why I had in my head, I want to do these things, but I can't make these things work, and I don't understand why. Well, now I know why. It's because of the type of person that I am. There's certain things that I just don't do well in, and that's okay. But I would have never known, hey, like I have all this passion, but I need somebody to help me like get it there kind of thing.
For sure.
So
yeah. And get it there by you, like you understanding yourself to get it there, which is super important. Like, so basically the way that this works is each letter stands for something. Let me see if I can share this. I think it might be an easier sell, an easier understanding. I'm about to share it real quick. Can we see it? Can you see it, Jessica?
Yes, I can totally see it.
Okay, so this is basically what it's built off of. Can you see anything else of mine? Yes, you can. Okay. So D stands for decisive, I stands for interactive, S stands for stabilizing, and C stands for cautious. So D is more about problems, how you tend to approach problems and make decisions. I is people, how you tend to interact with others and share opinions. S is pace, how you tend to pace things in your environment. And C is procedures, your preference for established protocol and standards. So a high D is demanding, a low D is deliberate. A high I is gregarious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. A low I is introspective. A high S is patient, and a low S is spontaneous. A high C is cautious, and a low C is challenging.
So high is when you are like basically thriving, or high is how is that? Like, how does that work?
I think it's just set up between those. So basically that word take decisive, take D. A high D is demanding. So if you're a high D, you're demanding. That's the type of person you are. If you're a low D, then you're deliberate. So that's the trait goes with
so it's not good or bad.
It's not good or bad.
It's the type of
personality trait.
It's a personality trait. Cool. Yeah. Okay.
So I did mine first, and I was like, I had such a great time doing it. Like the guy, his name's D'Angelo. He's like, bro, I did this and it changed my life. Like it really opened my eyes up to the type of person that I am and like where I need to be. And so we sat down and did mine. And mine, when it came out, was different than what I thought. And I think, let me share it again, because I think it might be easier to do it this way. So this is mine, and my D for problem solving. So your boy thinks I'm an engineer, so problem solving is like my thing. Yeah. But when we did this, I thought I'd be off the charts for problem solving. But it came out and it's like a 40 for problem solving. Like is that really who I am kind of thing?
Yeah.
And then for it came out really high, like people skills, like interactive. I was like, that's really like strange. And then C,
but meaning that I need people.
I know, but I never thought of that as a trait for myself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't really think of things like that as a trait for yourself when you're like going through this sometimes. So that's really great to know now. So I'm trying to lean more into people and giving people the experience that they would need, making them comfortable. I'm like, if that's really me, let's do it. And then C, and then S is the pace, and that came out really high, meaning that I need to have a very even keel pace. Like everything needs to be like planned out. And
I was actually the exact same way on mine.
Is it?
Yeah, we're both the exact same on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I like having things show me like how it's supposed to go. Yeah.
Along the way. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then C is for like setting up systems, and I am terrible at that. So there it goes. There goes.
I crave them. I don't know how to use a lot of them yet. So
yeah. But the other thing about this chart that I love is the gray bars. Did he talk to you about the gray bars?
He did. Isn't that like the environment?
So okay. The normal color ones, the red, yellow, green, is how you are when you are in control, when you are comfortable. That's how you approach life. But when you are uncomfortable and put in a tough situation, gray happens. Yep. So I'm still the same amount of a problem solver. I become less of a people person and less of, I get more erratic. I become more erratic. And then I fall into line more easily, like fall into other people's systems more easily. So I have this thing when it comes to my business called spiraling, because when I end up with clients sometimes that are not difficult, we're just not on the same page. Right. And so whenever I end up with a client like that, I always seem to spiral out. I just start rushing. I start changing things really erratically. Things just become really out of control. And it was weird when I saw this and he explained it to me, because I was like, wait, I'm more of that. Like, I have two sides to me, to where I need to be more assertive and more in control to let the other side live. But if I melt down to the little person, I become erratic and out of control. And that's not what I want to be especially in my business. So that means I have to go ahead and do the other things that make me be the way that I best present. So that means planning, think about it ahead of time. In the moment, he said, take a step back. So in the moment when I'm getting into that spiral situation, take a step back and really think about it. If we need to be like, say we're in a meeting, I'm in a meeting with a client and I'm feeling that way. Hey, can we reschedule that? Hey, can we reschedule, like, what's going on right now? Can we talk about this later? So that was really insightful, because the gray showed me more than the other bars did when we looked at it originally. I was like, that gray is wild. Like,
ooh, my gray hurt me, like, especially in the leadership. Oh yeah, in the leadership area. It said that I don't enjoy being a leader, which is funny, because I've always seen myself as a leader, but I feel like I can't, not in like I want to be in charge of everybody's sense. Like, sometimes I feel like I have to, take a direction or something like I've always felt like more of a leader when it comes to like group projects and things like that. Well, it turns out that my leader skills, like, or not my leader skills, but like, I don't actually enjoy being a leader. I really don't.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Right. And I will actually, when I get like really, really uncomfortable, I will get worse to where I will just basically make myself go away, because I don't want to step on anybody's toes. I don't want to upset anyone. I'm the peacekeeper. I constantly want to keep everything just like this. And when he told me that, I just looked at him and I was like, I did not feel like being read today.
No, at all. Like, it's so weird.
What? Yeah. And he's always, and like, it even taught me about money. Like, my thing said, I have a very strong economic interest. So I am very, I love seeing a return on my investments. I love seeing money. Like, I love, being able to provide and all of that fun stuff. But my problem is I'm too much of a people pleaser. So I give away everything.
So that overtakes. Yeah.
That overtakes my economic sense of self. So when he started telling me all this, I'm like, why does all of this make sense? This is crazy. Like, it is a very powerful tool. And it doesn't just stop there.
It doesn't. So there's some other tools that go along with it. We talked about one for me where it showed that I needed high stakes in an environment. And I think that's the economic part, where I have a very high economic. You want to get to the bottom line. You need high stakes. So I was talking to him and he was like, yeah, you need this environment to thrive. And I was talking about my last job. And I was like, well, my last job, I hated. Like, it was probably the worst job I've ever had in my life. And he was like, yeah, that's probably because you didn't have any stakes. And then the job before that was also like, I felt bad for liking that job before that, because it was kind of toxic. It was not a good environment. But he was like, but it hits your economic trait. And that's why you mourn for it. And you want to be in that time. Because I left because I was like, this is toxic. Let's go to something that's more laid back, less toxic. And he's like, but that first job was actually better for the type of person you were.
Right. Like, yeah, dude. It's like mind-blowing. What? He said, so the things, my systems were really high. Like my need for systems is like super high. And that's where I'm comfortable at, is like having a routine, having all of that. And it cracked me up because when I had that really bad bout in my business and I didn't know what I was doing, I didn't know where I was going, I literally just wanted to quit everything. I dropped my camera and I went and I started working at Panda Express. And I can tell you to this day, I still love that job. You want to know why? Because they had systems in place. Everything was thought out. Everything was strategic. Everything had a place. It was basically, it was comforting for me because I knew that like, if I didn't know what to do, there was a system for it. If I,
you just fell back in line. Yeah.
I felt, I was like, okay, cool. Like there's always an answer. There's always something. And I'm a problem solver. So, and he says, you're a huge problem solver. Like that's one of your biggest things, which is funny because being a photographer, you have to be a problem solver, period. If the light's not working, I mean, literally working your camera is going, okay, this isn't working. Now what? Okay, this doesn't look like how I want it. Now what do I need to adjust? Like it's literally all of these different things that you have to go down. And that's how it is with when I was working on the line. It was like, okay, I knew every single day I needed to be there at this time. I needed to break this down, this down, this down. Like, it was like this. And that's where I was like, yeah, that's where I felt the best about myself.
Weird.
Which it's not something I ever want to do the rest of my life.
Yeah.
But I got to talk to people every single day and there were systems in place. So I enjoyed it.
Yep. So it's one of those things, because that's what I love about the way D'Angelo is doing his business is he's setting it up for everybody. We meet you where you are kind of thing. And he wants it to be where it's like, well, not everybody's going to be an entrepreneur. We still have to have people who do other things.
Yes.
Know more about yourself. What if I knew more about myself after that first job? What if I knew that's the person I was? And Honeywell was like, oh, well, let's move you over here to this spot. And this job more fits you. I'd probably be Honeywell loyal for the rest of my life.
You'd probably be there for the rest. Yep.
And that's all it would have taken. So I love D'Angelo's he's like, well, we'll keep you in the systems that you want to be in, but we're going to let you know who you are. So you pick a better job or better lifestyle for yourself. I love it.
No, it's, you don't really think about how you are the reason your business is functioning. You are the very core. If your business isn't functioning, it's because something's wrong. Like something's not going on that's going on right with you. And you are either stretching to do things that you think that you need to be doing, but you don't necessarily vibe with, you can't, you see all these amazing photographers doing all these amazing things and you want to do those too, but you don't realize that some of those things aren't meant for you. That's not what you're meant to do. You have a skill, you have talents, and you have resources that people need. Like Kam is a leader. He was like super high on the leader aspect. I was like all the way almost down. It wasn't super low, but it was pretty, tiny compared to, my people skills. My people skills are off the charts. Like I love talking to people. I love working with people. And so when it comes to the work environment, I mean, this relationship has been working so well and we didn't know why. Kam is a natural leader. I am naturally not. Kam is not a problem solver. I did not think that or not that you're not, but like it's
lower. It's lower.
My problem solving skills were out the freaking charts. And I was like, I would have never thought of myself as a problem solver. And now that I have this information, I'm sitting here going, okay, so what else can I fix? Like if I know that these certain things aren't what I need to be doing and they actually make me uncomfortable, I'm just forcing myself to do them. 100%. What can I change? Like 100%. This is like a roadmap to everything, your life, your business, all of it. Wow.
Yes. And he's like, if you work with him over time, those things will move and they'll change around depending on where you are in life.
Yes.
And that's great. And that's why you should work with him. So you have a over time understanding of what's going on. But just to get a snapshot of where I am right now, it's just wild to see. And it makes you think like, so is my business even set up for me to thrive now? Exactly. Like, what should I be doing in my businesses to make sure that I'm the best part? If I'm going to be the only employee and the owner, and I need to have them set up for me to best thrive right now, especially on service types of business. So,
and I think some of us, especially as artists, we feel like we kind of have to do anything and everything to, because we want to support ourselves. We want to make money. We want to create art. We want to do all of these things, not realizing that sometimes those things are the very reason we're not succeeding.
100%.
Because we're putting all of our energy into those things that we think we can't let go of. And like you and I
100%.
were talking about it this morning, logos, I love doing them, but when it comes to actually sitting down and like thinking it through and going through the entire process, I'm not set up for it right now. Like I'm not set up for it right now, but I know who is. You are. And so I reached
I've been
out
studying.
to,
I've been doing a lot of work in understanding how that works.
Like that's like your thing. Like I know my passion lies in the entire design aspect, like the aesthetic of the website.
I think you're good at research too. Strategy research. Yeah.
So strategy research and I feel like I was just trying to put myself in this thing I thought I needed to be doing in order to help, which it wasn't a bad idea, but I know that it's not my strong suit and I know somebody's whose it is. So I'm passing that torch off to you. Like, you know, so it just kind of.
And that's what I'm starting to see now that I'm in more of the community a little bit longer, is it seems like that's what people do is like, well, I'll do this part. I'll pass my guys off to you to do this part.
Exactly.
Like, it's just really, I'm actually really loving that about the design community and like kind of the community that we're in.
Because it is a
the
community.
Small business community is like that also.
Yeah.
Like, where it's like, well, I'll look out for you if you look out for me. And I felt like I didn't have that before now.
Right.
So,
I didn't either. I mean, I had the businesses that like, you know, obviously I was friends with and stuff, but I don't think we ever really sat down and talked shop. Like we didn't talk business. We didn't talk about all the things that we wanted to do and the things that we were struggling with. And so I love that we have this space here. And so that we can talk about this now, because like I said, once this relationship actually started and we were able to sit down and talk through everything, and even like being able to talk to your wife, like about all the different things that were like, I was struggling with in my business, it cleared so much of the fog, as Dan, as he likes to say, like it clears up the fog, you know?
It does.
So having that clarity removes all of it and goes, okay, this is where I'm supposed to be. This is what I'm struggling with. So if you guys are struggling with that, know that we see you, know that we literally struggle with it regularly. You're always going to have seasons. You're going to have your seasons of excitement and passion. And then you're going to have those seasons of, am I even doing this right? Like, what am I doing wrong? Why is this, you know? So we want to be here for you for both of those seasons, whether you're in a super amazing, awesome one, or whether you're struggling. And if you're struggling, we're right there with you. Like
we're right there. And that's why I want to kind of reach the olive branch. This whole thing was to put the olive branch out to other creatives, other business owners, other people who want to live life differently, so that we can all kind of be a community and help each other out. Because I know when I lost my job, the first thing I did was try to reach out to people. Well, let's go talk to some people. And that's probably my biggest, I'm so happy I did that. Like, I feel like I got so much value out of just reaching out to people and said, hey, let's set up a Zoom meeting. Let's sit down and chat. And those people are probably the people right now I talk to the most.
I had to work up the courage to contact you. I'm so serious. Like you've always been so kind and like freaking awesome and everything, but I didn't know you personally. And I was like, I know I need help with this project. I know what I want to do, but I don't know how to get there. And I don't know if he's even going to be interested. So, you know, and it was just a project to start Unruly Blooms. And then it became Wisdom by Design. Like it literally exploded. Just me going one day, okay, I'm sweating while I'm texting this in Snapchat or in Instagram. I'm, you know, literally like, okay, hi Kam. I know we've only worked together a few times, but if I wouldn't have done that, we wouldn't be here right now.
And just it takes a little courage. You
just have to have a little bit of courage and ask for help. Like you have to reach out and ask for help.
For sure. And people will be receptive. They're not going to be like, no, get out of here, troll. They're not going to do that.
But I mean, some of us have been burned by people like that though. Like I don't know what your experience is, but sometimes like when I was, especially growing up, younger in the photography world, like photography has always been big, but you've definitely seen the environment change so much over the last few years. It used to be everybody's competition. Don't share your secrets. Don't share your spots where you take pictures. Nobody's going to watch me edit, blah, blah, blah. You know, like all these really nasty, gross things. And that's how I was raised in the photography world. It was like, it was supposed to be like that. Yeah. And even attending a photography meeting, you know, I think I was like 18 or 19 at the time. I remember attending a photography meeting where everybody was sitting there so just like scrunched
Stiff,
up and like
yeah.
stiff and just kind of like, hey, how are you guys? Oh, I'm good. I'm great. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what the hell?
Don't look at my
And then-
paper.
don't look at my
Yeah.
homework. I'm not sharing this with you. You know,
Yeah.
it was just very exhausting. And then I remember going to a workshop, and I was nervous about investing in my education, first of all. But then I was nervous about being around other photographers and what they were going to think about me and what they were going to say, and if I would even fit in, and, you know, all these things that you go through in your head. And I remember getting there and meeting so many amazing, wonderful people who were on the exact same track as me.
Yep.
And this person, when we were doing her workshop, at the very end of the workshop, she gave all of us candles. And she said, and basically it went along the lines of, whenever you light your flame, like if you light somebody else's flame, it's never going to take away from you.
Dang.
Chills. Like chills. You know, thank you,
Dang.
Ashley Wills Photography, for, you know,
That's
telling me
dope.
that, because that changed the entire
So true, though.
trajectory of my thinking around community and
Yeah.
building a entire place for people.
For
And
sure.
I was like, I mean, it just blew my
Love that.
mind.
I love
So
that. But it's true. But there's enough out here for everybody. Just
yeah.
be different. You got to be brave enough to be different enough to find
Yeah.
that thing that's for you. So
You do. Exactly. Yeah. And you know what? People are going to freaking fall into you with open arms. And if people aren't, they're not for you.
Nope.
They're not for you.
And that's perfectly fine. That is okay.
Yep. And that's fine. Find people who are cooler than that.
I think that's it.
I think that is it. That was awesome. Yeah. So D'Angelo, where can they find D'Angelo at?
I will find out and we'll put it in the show notes by the time this
Okay,
episode
we'll put it in the
comes
show notes. We'll post it on Instagram too.
Yeah.
D'Angelo is amazing. He's starting this business. He wants it to, you know, continue to soar and help other business owners. So if you're interested in taking that test and seeing, you know, what your strengths are, what are some things that you could totally do without in your life, I mean, reach out to him. Do it.
Yeah, for sure. We'll provide the information.
Oh yeah, we'll provide the information, and I'm pretty sure we have some code too. We'll have some code. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Yeah, 'cause we might be after. He was looking for a bunch of people to do before the new year, but if we can bring some people to him, he might. I'm pretty sure we could work out a code.
Okay. Yeah. Heck
so
yeah.
We'll
so
talk
then,
to him.
yeah, we'll talk to him and we'll talk to y'all, and reach out and get your lives together and have fun.
Yep, for sure.
That's what we're doing. So
that's what we're doing.
So thank you guys for tuning in. This is Wisdom by Design. I'm Jessa.
And I'm Cameron.
And,
thank you guys.
Yeah,
thank you.
For
being here.
We'll talk to you next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is great. All right.
Oh gosh.
Peace
Okay.
out. Are you gonna say the YouTube stuff?
That's what I was thinking. I was like, I didn't even say
That's what happened.
I don't know. I got nervous.
Okay, go.
I got nervous.
Where can they find us at?
Oh, snap. We'll have to cut that out. Sorry. Okay. All right. So thank you guys for listening. Thanks for tuning in. If you want to find us, you can find us on Instagram at Wisdom by Design podcast. And we are also on YouTube, which if you're watching this right now, you already see our beautiful faces. If you're listening from your ear holes, we are on YouTube as well. You can find us at Wisdom by Design podcast.
Yes.
We get really creative with our name. So follow us on Instagram, follow us on YouTube, come hang out with us. We want to hear from you guys. You can also email us at wisdombydesignpodcast@gmail.com. And we are doing this for you. So if you hear us, if this is resonating with you, like, subscribe, comment, anything that you can do for in that sense will actually help us reach more business people just like you, who are trying to enrich their lives. So thanks for tuning in today, and we will see you guys next week, next Friday.
Peace out, dropouts. Bye.
Peace out, dropouts.
Wisdom by Design.